Curtis "Cocky" Warren is a name that is synonymous with the criminal underworld of Liverpool, England. The notorious gangster rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most powerful drug lords in Europe. However, Warren's rise to fame and fortune was short-lived, and his eventual downfall has been described as unbelievable. In this video, we'll explore the incredible story of Curtis "Cocky" Warren and his dramatic rise and fall from grace. So do subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video for more informational videos like this. Without any further delay, let's dive in. Curtis "Cocky" Warren was born into a life of crime. Growing up in the tough Costa district of Liverpool, Curtis "Cocky" Warren was exposed to a life of crime from an early age. His father, a well-known gangster, was frequently in and out of prison, leaving Cocky to grow up with a sense of nihilism and disregard for authority. He quickly followed in his father's footsteps, joining a gang and participating in robberies, burglaries, and drug dealing. Despite his small stature, Cocky had a fierce reputation, which earned him the nickname Cocky. At the age of 16, Cocky was arrested and sent to an approved school. Instead of deterring him from crime, however, this only further hardened his criminal attitude. By the time he was in his 20s, he had become a major player in the Liverpool underworld, trading in drugs and running protection rackets. His influence and power increased exponentially, to the point where it is said that even the police were afraid of him. Cocky became extremely wealthy, owning several luxury cars and properties throughout Liverpool. He was also known to be generous with his money, donating to local charities and buying gifts for his associates. At the height of his power, Cocky was untouchable. He had managed to become one of the most notorious gangsters in the city. He quickly rose to the top of the Liverpool underworld. Curtis "Cocky" Warren was a notorious figure in the Liverpool underworld, infamous for his ability to rise through the ranks quickly and make money from any kind of crime. He started out small, hustling on the streets, and eventually moved up to bigger and better things. He became a major player in the drug trafficking business, shipping drugs all over Europe. He was known for his brash style and his no-nonsense attitude when it came to business. He had an eye for making big money and took advantage of every opportunity he could find. He worked with some of the most notorious criminals of the time, including Paul Ferris and Roy Adams. He used their connections and networks to make even more money. His ambition made him unstoppable, and before long he had built an empire of sorts in Liverpool. Warren developed a reputation as a tough, ruthless businessman who was willing to do anything to get ahead. He used his wealth and power to buy people off, bribe officials, and use intimidation to get what he wanted. He became known as one of the most feared men in the city. At the height of his power, Warren controlled a network of gangs that were involved in drug dealing, loan sharking, and extortion. He was said to be worth more than £10 million by the late 1990s. Warren also had close links with the IRA, which he used to his advantage in order to keep control over his empire. Despite his success, Warren's reign eventually came to an end. He was convicted of drug trafficking and money laundering in 1997 and sentenced to 12 years in prison. After his release from prison in 2009, he was deported back to the UK, where he has since kept a low profile. Although Warren has faded from public view, his influence is still felt in the underworld of Liverpool today. His downfall came just as quickly. Curtis "Cocky" Warren was a notorious figure in the Liverpool underworld. He quickly rose to the top of the criminal ladder, becoming one of the most feared and respected gangsters in the city. However, his time at the top did not last long. His downfall began when he was arrested in Amsterdam in 1992 for smuggling a large amount of cannabis. He was convicted and sentenced to 12 years in prison. When Warren returned to England, he found that the drug market had changed drastically since his incarceration, and he was unable to adjust to the new trends. He was unable to compete with other gangs, and as a result, his influence on the underworld began to dwindle. Warren then decided to leave Liverpool and head to Spain. where he could start a new life away from the reach of the law. Unfortunately, this plan did not work out, and in 2000 he was arrested in Spain for drug trafficking and money laundering. After a lengthy trial, he was sentenced to 13 years in prison. After his release from prison, Warren was unable to regain the status he once held in the Liverpool underworld. He became a broken man, his reputation shattered, and his prospects for making money slim. Curtis "Cocky" Warren's rise and fall is a stark reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in the criminal underworld. He was able to become one of the most powerful figures in Liverpool, but was ultimately brought down by his own poor choices. Despite his violent past, Warren is remembered fondly by many who recall his kind heart and willingness to help those less fortunate than him. Curtis "Cocky" Warren today. Curtis "Cocky" Warren was once the undisputed king of the Liverpool underworld, but his story ended in tragedy. After a long and drawn-out trial, he was sentenced to 13 years in prison for running an international drug trafficking operation in 1997. He was released in 2009, but his glory days are long gone. Since his release from prison, Warren has kept a low profile and reportedly still lives in the Liverpool area. Although details of his current activities remain unclear, he is believed to have retired from his life of crime. Reports have surfaced that he has turned to legitimate business ventures, but nothing has been confirmed. Warren has also kept out of the public eye since his release. He rarely gives interviews or makes public appearances, although he did give one interview in 2013 where he expressed regret for his criminal activities. He is known to be close with his family, who were largely supportive of him during his trial and imprisonment. Despite his low profile, Warren is still an important figure in British gangster culture. His story is frequently discussed on television programs and in books about organized crime in the United Kingdom. He is also an inspiration to aspiring criminals, as evidenced by recent court cases involving other Liverpool-based gangs trafficking drugs internationally. It is unclear what Curtis "Cocky" Warren is doing today, but whatever it is, it likely doesn't involve the same level of crime and mayhem that he was once known for. He is now a cautionary tale for aspiring criminals, and a reminder that even the most powerful criminals can eventually be brought down by the law. What are your thoughts on this? Do let us know in the comment section below. See you in the next one.